Spot the hidden, or don't. Oh fudge, yeah, yeah, you do. So you roll the purple one, yeah. So 71. Nah, you don't see anything. Yeah. So what you see on screen is what you see on screen is basically what you see at this moment. Yeah, 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 yeah. So the door is like slightly ajar, just a little bit, but there is indeed light coming from over here. So what do you do? Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Um, so as you move up to the door, you see, yeah, as I said, the door is slightly ajar. You can peek inside, and you see a room that kind of looks like a study. You would think. Yeah, yeah, there's light coming from there. Okay. As you open the door, you see, as I said, there's a study. There's like a wooden wall paneling, like around 150 high, approximately, and this is basically what you see. Um, there's in the middle of the room. There's or approximately in the middle of the room. There's three armchairs. Um, Besides the door that you just came through, on the to your right is another door that you can assume also leads into the kitchen that you almost approached, or you could see from the outside. Um, to the left of the door, over here, there's oh, my ping didn't work. Um, Here there's a small table, and over here there's a small writing desk. Um, and the writing desk, I mean, there's a chair to both at the desk and at the table, but the one at the desk seems to be like it fell down, as if someone left the writing desk in a hurry. Um, well, actually, first, you're standing outside still with Alexander, aren't you? Okay, okay. So as you move in, okay. At this point, about 10 minutes have passed, and your vision clears again. Uh, yeah. So, um, seeing that you walked up to the writing desk, and you saw the chair falling down. Um, uh, yeah. So as you now I have to check where it was. That the writing desk. The there's there's uh, there's this, yeah, I don't know how to call it, this rail um, guided door. That's, I mean, you can open it up. There's like this wooden paneled like sliding small door, and no, it's not hidden. It's like I don't know what it's called in English. It's like small wooden panels latched together as a roll cage door, basically. Um, ja, gewoon godverdomme, net als een rolluikje, maar dan heel klein, zeg maar, wat je zo open kan schuiven. Gewoon een schuifdeurtje eigenlijk. Maar dan zo'n half rond, weet je wel. So it's like a semicircular roll or sliding door, basically, that you can slide upwards. And as you slide it upwards, there's yeah. So yeah, as you it's closed, but it's not locked. So as you slide it open, you actually see there's like a mug of coffee there that somehow it still feels warm to the touch. Besides the mug, there's sorry. Okay. Besides the mug, there's like a whole lot of stationery there. There's like envelopes, stamps, papers. There's a bottle of ink. No quill. There's some pens. Um, and there's also like a small stack of papers that seem to look like invoices for coin appraisals. And they are addressed to some pretty well-known Rockport antique stores. Um, Alexander, you actually, because Alexander was the yes was the antiques dealer. Alexander, you recognize a few of them. Um, um, as you look at as you're ruffling through the papers, you can see that there's um, the quotes for the coins offered or asked to be appraised range from like $2 to $5, um, uh, and they're all dated. Yeah, that was pretty much that's true, and they're pretty much all dated from late 20 February 1926. Can you roll me an appraise roll? Just you. No, there's no movement, no sound, nothing. Uh, ah. So you don't Alexander. In the meantime, you don't find anything special about whatever has been quoted. It's weird that there's like a big range between these things, but that's about it. You also find like a large coin catalog, and underneath that catalog, there's a lot of letters with responses, and they all start with "Dear Mr. Cassidy." There's like we are sorry, but we are unable to identify the coin that you or the picture of the coin that you sent us. We are pretty sure we can find out uh, where it's from, or appraise it better if you can give us a sample. Uh, can you can you roll me a library use, Alexander? Oh my god. No, no. You. Nope. Yeah, so there's a lot of letters there, and they're all like, sorry, we can't appraise it. And um, so after looking at the letters, um, Jupiter, are you still with him, with Alexander? Where you're not exactly sure what he's looking for, but I'll I will have you, just because you're standing next to him, I will have you roll a library use, just for the sake of it. Watch her make that roll. Okay. Um, well, you don't find anything special. But what you do see is there's two drawers to the left and right side of this sliding door. Um, the left hand one, if you try it, it, yeah, sure. It's open. It's not locked, but there is a key that's snapped off in its lock slide. And if you open it, there is a small green wooden box in there, and it has a velvet lining. And Reginald, if he's also looking at it, he will definitely recognize this as being a um, a place where a gun should be. Like the outline. Well, actually, pretty much all of you would know, but Reginald would definitely recognize this as a like a small gun safe. Um, however, Jupiter, you find six bullets in that drawer. Um, they are so. Huh? The gun is missing. Yeah, there's no gun. There's only bullets there. Um, it does. Okay. It doesn't look like it's the yeah. From they look like revolver bullets. It doesn't match your Smith and Wesson, Reginald. Um, mm, mm. Well, normally you would assume that there's people on this island who have to maintain the lighthouse. So what's actually strange is that there's no one here yet. You would assume that there's people here taking care of the lighthouse, taking care of the light. Um, but up to now, it's been really quiet. All you found was a body. Um, I mean, that's disturbing. Yes, that's true. All you found is a body. um, and so, yeah, on the other side of this sliding door, there's another small drawer, and if you try that one, that's actually locked. Um, now you can either lockpick it or try to force it open. But to force it open, you would have to use a tool that none of you probably has handy. Think like a screwdriver or a chisel, whatever would help you get some purchase on the drawer. Yeah, that's not gonna do it. But I mean, you can try to lockpick the lock. I don't know how well versed you're with lockpicks, either of you. Okay. Well, then that's a no go. Um, no, no. It's like an internal lock that's like in a drawer. I don't know how to describe that. Um, yeah. Okay. Um, uh, you can try. I mean, you will probably succeed. Um, but whatever is in there will probably be damaged. I mean, you can assume that if you shoot, I mean, you can try it. I'm not taking away that option from you. You can try it. I'm just gonna have whoever's gonna shoot it shoot the gun, and then I'm gonna have you make a luck roll to see if whatever was in there will be damaged or not. I mean, what would you do? What would you do? You're like a Wild West cowboy, like yeehaw! Okay. um, yeah. Okay. So that was the writing desk. There is still the table, and Jupiter. As you're looking around in this room, your eyes glance past that table, and you actually see art supplies on that table. Well, I mean, first, what you actually find. Uh, um, there's there's like some books on sailor stories, like maritime tales, a book about birds, a repair manual for the lighthouse, for the light upstairs, or well, you can assume it's upstairs. um, there's a pipe, a pouch of tobacco, a pair of binoculars. Okay. um, okay. uh, Okay, so there's still more. There's also a sketchbook. There are some pencils, watercolor paints, some brushes, and some papers. The papers don't say anything. They're like sketching papers. Um, okay, your pockets are getting really full now. I mean, it still fits, but your pockets are getting full. Hmm. Okay, what you also find is a recently finished watercolor painting. Yes, how to repair or work the lighthouse light and mechanism. Yeah. Um, so the painting, yeah. So the painting you find, um, what you see is it's a painting of a window. Um, it's like sundown. The background is a bit um, yeah, like sundown. It's like rose tinted, or like dark red, gloomy tinted in the back. But like right behind the window, there's like a dark shadow with wide eyes that's looking through the glass panes. As you're looking at this painting, and you're standing right here at the moment, um, and you're holding this painting in your hand, and then suddenly you realize you look to your right and you see that window, and it's that exact window that you're looking at. So the painting that you're looking at is an exact copy of the window to your right. Um, when you looking at this painting, it actually sends shivers down your spine, and I would like you to roll me a sanity. Wow. Um, even though it's yes, all of a sudden the world opens up to you. You know the meaning of life. No. Um, so even though it sent shivers down your spine, you bite through it, and it's still a bit unnerving that this painting was made fairly recently, like fairly recently. And the paint is dry, but not like it's not been here for weeks. Um, can you roll me? I mean, are you showing it to the rest? Then okay. Then all of you roll me a natural world or a science. And in the meantime, science. Oh my god, you are really shitty in your rolls tonight. Oh my god! Well, it's all up to you, Jupiter. Either a natural world or science. In the meantime, on the bottom right, wow, nice. So what you do see, what you do see in the bottom right corner is that it's signed S. Smith, and the now that you're like looking closer at this picture, um, the eyes look a little bit bulbous, and they seem to be placed on the side of the head rather than the front. Um, and it kind of reminds you of a fish or a frog. Can you roll me an art craft roll? So painting or sketching. So that should be good. A arts and crafts roll. Yeah, yeah. Lightless. So you look into the painting and you see once again the meaning of life. You now have two meanings. No. No, what you actually see is that this painting seems to be rushed somehow. It's not as I mean there are more paintings on this table, and this one compared to the rest seems to be lacking the finesse, um, compared to the other ones that you see. And the other ones, as you're going through them, there are like many images of some sites that you've seen already. Um, there's like the nearby thicket that you just came from without the body. Um, there's one painting of a lighthouse, one of the of two small buildings that you haven't seen, but seem to be placed on this island as well. Um, um, yeah, there's one painting that has like a whole overview of the island coming from like as you're watching it from the pier, and you on this painting you actually see what Alexander thought he saw outside, like a figure, um, um, yeah, a figure, a silhouette of a man, that's leading, that's like moving on the path, um, and what you see is that it's dated February 14th, 1926. Um, and oh, actually, the first painting was, oh, the first one painting was not dated. Um, yeah, the first painting was not dated. This one was. And next to this one, there's also like a rough sketch of this painting to the side. There's no rough sketch that looks like the first painting that you found, like the hasty one. Um, yeah, that's basically what you find in these paintings. Uh, sorry, S. Smith. No, no, also no, no. Hmm? Hmm. Well, what you can assume from the image that you saw, yeah, yeah, but just to clear that up, what you can assume from the positioning of the painting, um, these are the ones that are at the back of the building. So, where do you go? There's two doors. There's this one and the one that you came from. This one, this one. Yeah, there's a door here as well. Okay. Actually, if you leave this room, if you leave this room, you see that on the wall here there's a door switch. Not a door switch, a light switch. Sorry. Yay! The world opens up. Um, or actually, you can see all the way to here. Now roll me another investigation. Yeah, yeah. I'm just gonna assume that you're now all in this same room, or spot hidden. Sorry. Yeah, investigation is a D&D thing. Yeah, no, it's spot hidden. Nice, finally. So what you see is if you glance towards this direction. Ah, damn it. As you glance towards this direction, you see some glinting from the side of your vision, and um, what you also see is there's like two bullets like lodged into the floor over there. Um, Reginald, can you roll me a firearms or intelligence? Reginald, I'm sorry. Reginald, can you roll me either a firearms or a intelligence? Handgun, HG. Nice. Um, so what you can assume from the way that the bullets lodged into the floor is that they came from over here. Um, yeah, so that's all you can get from that. What you also see is there's a blood trail, or well, not really a trail. There's like some slight smearing um, that leads into well the kitchen area. And then well, seeing that you all see this glint over here, I would like you all to roll me an occult roll. Or sorry, an appraise roll. Sorry. Hmm. So Alexander, um, what you actually see is there's like three what seem to be golden coins lying on the floor in front of the steps. And as I mean, I'm gonna assume you're gonna walk to them. Um, as you come closer, um, they 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 seem to be made of solid gold. Um, on one side of the coin, yeah, like solid gold, like 24 karat gold. They're slightly. I mean, I don't know your U.S. coin sizes, but they're about. Um, yeah, how can I explain this? Um, yes, exactly. Yes. No, no, yeah, no, they're actually that size. If you connect your thumb to your index finger, they are quite big. They are bigger than the usual coin. Um, and one side appears to depict some kind of an obelisk, um, and the other side has some strange sigils and some weird designs. Um, so now you can roll me an occult. An occult. I mean, are you showing the coin to the others? Okay. Then yeah, then the rest may also roll for occult. Ah, um, yeah. Um, well, um, although you can't get anything like strange from the coin, you can finally roll me. Whoever saw the coin, so that's all three of you. Roll me an arts or crafts roll or a natural world roll. Wow. Wow, guys. Wow, 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 wow. Okay. Um, um, well, actually, Alexander, um, you're the frickin' um um art dealer. What's it called? Um, yeah, that thing. Roll yeah, roll me another one. I'm gonna give you advantage on this one. Actually, art craft. That should be higher for you, no? Or wait. Um, yeah, roll me natural world. It's all I can do, man. It's all I can do. Nope. I'm sorry. I did what I could. Um. Yeah. So yeah, you are now in possession of 3 gold coins. You can write those down. Um. Hmm? I mean, whatever you want. If you want to put it in your pocket, you can pocket them all 3 if you want, or you can share them with the rest. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, actually, Jupiter, as you are, because I'm assuming you all moved here towards the coins. Um, as you stand there, you see that this door, it actually has a um, a sign on it that says larder, larder, larder. And I don't know that word, but apparently it means like food storage. Well, apparently it means like food storage. Even though remember the boat, even though remember all of you, the boat ride was all in. There was food available. There was plenty of food available. She just didn't eat. Yeah, so as you open the door, yeah, yeah, no, it's 1926. You're in 1926. It's like the 1920s. No. You're in 1926. Um, so Jupiter, as you open the door, it creaks open, no problem, and it's like full of shelves, all like stacked with canned food, preserved foods, uh, dried foods, whatever you can imagine. It's all there. Enough. um, but seen from the volume that's stacked here, it seems like it would be enough for 3 people to last at least a month. Hmm. Hmm. Well, that's that's gonna be hard because you don't have a can opener, and there's no pull ring on the top of the can. So the only way to open it is either yeah. roll roll me a flat strength. A flat strength. So next to STR, the green one. Yeah. And then you eat it yourself. Okay. It looks it's like a it looks disgusting. There's like baked beans or something in there. And that's not gonna do anything. Nothing at all. That's like a kilogram of baked beans you got there. This friggin' match. Mhm. 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 Nope. There's just food. It's literally a food storage. Yeah. So yeah, it takes you it it takes Jupiter a while to finish the beans. About 15 to 20 minutes. Um, and you took damage, right? No, 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 no. No, but before you took damage, right? Like before. Oh yeah, yeah, for pinching your finger. You're now back at full health. Somehow somehow eating those beans and getting that grease on your wound um, somehow helped heal your tiny pinprick. Yes. So Yeah, quite some time has passed. It's still raining like crap outside. Um, at some points, you do realize that the lights are kind of flickering every once in a while. Um, mhm, mhm. So where do you go? So where do you go? There's the door over here. Yeah, this one, the kitchen. Yes. Okay. I mean, you can move you should be able to move the token, right? No? Ah, okay, then I'll do it. It doesn't really matter. Okay. Well, as you thought, because you already saw it from the outside, and the geometry of the house just says this is the kitchen. Um, and as you enter the kitchen, um, as you open the door, and you head inside, there's what you see is like straight ahead of you is like the sink, and there's some dirty plates in there. There's a sauce pot in there. There's a table with three chairs to sit and eat. Um, Obviously, to your left is the door to the study that you were in before. Can you make me a sanity roll, all three of you? Oh, that's good. Okay. Um, Alec Alexander, you lose one sanity. No, in the middle. The one in the middle. Yeah. You always want to roll under your score, and each time you lose sanity, you have to you have to subtract it from the center of the three bigger numbers, um, which means that the chances of you going insane increase each and every time you lose sanity because it's getting harder and harder to roll under your score. Less sane. So the lower the number, the more insane you go. No, no, no. Oh, no, yeah, you're taking away if you're failing it. If you're succeeding, it doesn't do anything in this case. Yes, correct. Okay. Yes. Well, I mean, that's what I said. If you're RP heavy, it's gonna take a long time. Um, yes. So you're in the kitchen, and as you push the door open, um, it's a little bit heavy. It feels like there's something behind the door, and if you as you move in, and you see this blood smear on the floor, and if you look behind the door, you can actually see a chair behind the door. Roll me an intelligence. Yeah, yeah, sure. Okay. Um, so Jupiter, as you see this chair lying there, you see that like one of the legs is somewhat not broken but damaged and slightly off center. And from what you see, you assume that this chair was used to hit something or someone with. Um, then, as you all saw the blood, um, roll me either a first aid or a medicine. A medicine. Wow. Okay. Um, what you um, what you see from the blood is it seems to be there seems to be nothing something not quite right with the blood. It's recent from what you can see, but it's because it's still not completely coagulated yet. But it also seems to be um, like thicker in general, and also um, it has a bit more of a purple hue than human blood would have. What you can see, it doesn't seem to be human blood. if you um, if you go through any of the remaining drawers in the kitchen, um, you do find a quite sturdy and sharp knife. Um, and you do realize you remember this drawer that you found in the study next door. You think that you could pry this drawer open with this knife. It's quite sturdy. Hmm. Hmm. So you now have a melee weapon, a kitchen knife, which is an improvised weapon. You can also use it as a weapon. It does 1d3 plus your damage bonus. And your damage bonus, it says in the bottom right, I believe. Hmm. Um, so as you quickly head back into the study, you move to this writing desk and you jam the knife like in between the small little slit of opening that you have, and you're gonna try to open it, I assume. Roll me a strength, and someone can actually help you with that, but only one person. Okay. Um, Let me check. Okay. As you open the drawer, it like you jam it in, and you're like both pulling on this knife, and with a ting, you break the small latch of the lock. It's quite an old desk, and the metal is already quite brittle. And you open the desk, and you find. Oh wait. And then finally I can get to show you something. There you go. You should be able to see now if you go to. Yes, can you see whatever? Okay. Yeah, yeah. The writing itself is like pretty terrible, even in the PDF. um, and I'm assuming you're going to show this to the rest as well to read. Um, and as you're going through all of this, as you're going through all of this, um, you Alexander, you actually recognize the entry of the February 16th of 1926. Um, it basically mentions you, where it says maybe I should write to some of my old colleagues to see if they can help. Um, the I think he was called Michael. Michael Cassidy was actually one of your old. Yeah, yeah. He actually was one of your old, or George Cassidy. He actually was one of your old colleagues um, that you used to work with. So you recognize that he sent you a letter, um, or he tried to contact you. Let's put it that way. Just let me know if you've read it, and then I will continue. Michael, als ik je een hartaanval moet geven omdat je hem naar USC, of weet het, USF moet kijken, dan moet je het even zeggen. Hè? Ja, precies, daarom zeg ik het even. Ja. Wil je dat kijken of ja? So as you're reading this, there's like a big thunder on the outside, and this loud noise actually kind of startled old man Reginald, and suddenly you see him grabbing his chest, and he's like gasping for air, and he's like grabbing one of your shoulders. Well, probably Jupiter, because he was hanging around Reginald all the time, and he's like looking you in the eyes, and you realize that whatever is happening to Reginald or Reginald, he's probably on the end of his rope. He's it seems like Reginald is having a heart attack. Cause unfortunately, cause unfortunately, Reginald has to go. So Reginald, as you die, you actually see a bright white light in front of you, and you realize your time has come, and you have peace with it, and you I've only known you for 2 hours, but I love you. Yeah, and she finally got his name right. Yeah. Hey, tof dat je, cool that you could join us for a little bit. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. If just come back after UFC. It's okay. We'll still be here. Okay. You. You. Bye. Well, that was an epic end. Yeah. Short-lived though. Yeah. Um. So I'm assuming you're done reading. Yeah. Okay. Um. So yeah, that's what you find in the in this drawer. I mean, you could. Yeah, I was gonna say, don't forget his freaking guns. um. I. Well, you can't dual wield, so it's no use to you if you have to. It's a Smith and Wesson 38, and it does 1d10 plus your DB. Huh? Wesson. Yeah. Um. Point 38. Um. Yeah. I don't know exactly how many bullets he had. Because there. Let me check if he. He has he has 6 revolver bullets. I mean, you saw him take them, so I'm gonna assume that you're just gonna take those as well. He has six revolver bullets, and um, there were 5 in the chamber of one of them, of the Smith and Wesson. Yeah, you both. Yeah. So he had 2 Smith and Wessons. One was fully loaded, and one had 5 bullets. Okay. So you have 5 bullets. Please write that down. And there's a box of 13 shells. I was gonna say, so she's gonna take 1 bullet and the kitchen knife, and she's gonna slice the 1 bullet in half. um, um, yes. You have one room left to go. Yes. Okay. As you move to that door, you see a shield hanging on it that says, or not a shield, a sign that says bunk room. Yes, a shield. It's actually Marvel's Agents of. Yeah, yeah. So as you enter, you see a bunk room. Yeah. Um, let me just do this. Now you can save changes. Okay. Um, so you enter the bunk room. The bunk room has, as you look around, there are 3 beds, and they're all neatly packed, neatly made. And like in one corner of the room, there's like a large pile of books that stack neatly. There's also 3 cupboards um, besides each bed, and all of them are holding like soap, towels, fresh bedding, extra blankets. And each of the cupboards also have a name tag. One is M. Turner, the other is G. Cassidy, and the last one is S. Smith. Um, Now it's a bit of a shame that your FBI guy is gone, because there was actually something for him to find here. But um, you can roll me a spot hidden from above. Yes, yes, from the stars. He's looking down upon you. So roll me a spot hidden, both of you. Wow. Okay. Um, so you're going around, Alexander. You're going around all of the bunks, and you're starting with Turner's bunk, which is the guy that you found outside, dead. Um, and what you actually find is a hoppakey, is a small diary that has a few notes in there. Um, yeah, now you can exactly. And as you're going through, hmm? Ah, okay. So, As you're having this discussion, um, let me just tell you that you found one more thing in Smith's cupboard, and there's like a hastily scribbled note, and it says, "Saw another one of those things in the window, left for sure." Um, and no, that's not in the note. And as you roll me a spot hidden with roll me a spot hidden with disadvantage. So with a penalty die, the purple one. Yeah, yeah. So the 81 failed, so that's a fail. Um, and you both fail. Okay, good. Mhm, mhm. No, no, no. There's nothing else to find over here. Mhm. And as you move away through the hallway, you actually hear behind you from the front door. Um, at first, there's a bang, um, but you didn't lock the front door. You just walked in and then you left it there. Um, so you now see the front door slowly opening, um, and also from your, because you're facing the stairs, there's from your left, so from this side, you hear another bang. Um, and strangely enough, there's like you hear like some sounds that sound like frog noises, like some small, not small, like pretty like soft creaking noises, croaking noises. That's it. Um, what do you do? Okay, so as you are heading up the stairs, as you as you were as you are heading up the stairs, there's it's a metal stair, so it's like clink, 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 and eventually you reach the service room, and it's like a small room. That's I'm just gonna show you the side view of this as well. Boop. So you're in spot 23 now. Um, um, there's a mechanism in this room that's like straight underneath the center of the ceiling, and it's the mechanism that is used to turn the lamp, presumably up one floor up. Um, And from the noise and what you can see, it is still like turning. But obviously, as you saw from the outside and your ship crashed, there's no light. Um, there's another set of stairs that's going up into the second room. Um, yeah. There's like a few boxes stored here. Um, One of the boxes actually has a replacement bulb for the light, should you so choose to use it. And there's a log on the workbench, because there's a workbench as well here. And on the workbench is a log of one of the three workers or maintenance people here. Roll me a mechanical or electrical repair. Okay. Um, yeah, no, what you see, it's a list with a routine checkup where it's like, yeah, mechanism still working, lubricated the gears, check the light bulb, 1500 hours left on the light, stuff like that. Um, mhm, mhm, okay. Um, as you move to the toward as you move towards the second set of stairs to the right of the stairs, there's actually like a small sitting desk, a writing desk, um, and there's a radio set in the middle of the table. Um, it looks like at the moment it doesn't work. There's no sound coming from it. It's plugged in. Um, you can try it. And you can try to repair it if you like. If you will try, um, it will cost you a few minutes, and I will need an electrical repair roll. I mean, you don't have to. You can also continue, but meanwhile, from downstairs, you hear movement. Meanwhile, from downstairs, you hear movement on the bottom floor. Um, so So at this point, as you're like looking at this radio, and you're like looking left and right, you didn't unplug it, um, and you opened it up because there's it's like it's not really screwed. The exterior is not screwed to the interior. It's like um, a thing with like press in latches that you can just press in with your fingers, and then you can just snip it off. Uh, as you're doing this, you like a few minutes in, like 2 or 3 minutes in, you actually hear the metal clanging of the stairs behind you, um, and it sounds like someone is coming up. And I mean, you're like really engulfed in work, and the sound comes closer and closer and closer, and yeah. So you're like really busy with your stuff. I want you to roll me a spot hidden. Okay. Um, well, I mean, Jupiter went ahead, so you're alone there trying to fix the radio. And well, not necessarily. From behind you, um, one of the things you don't know what it is because you actually don't have time to respond because you didn't see it coming. And now I have to take the freaking page as well. Uh-huh. Character sheet. Okay. And you hear well as you are working, you do hear at some point you hear a sound coming at you from behind, um, and it's gonna swipe at you, and I don't know if it hit because I can't see it. Ah, damn it. So it swipes at you with his claw, and it surprises you, so you don't get a chance to either fight back or dodge, and it actually does 3 damage to you. Um, I'm gonna you now you can choose what to do. You can either run. This is not D&D, so there's no attack of opportunity, but you do have to roll me a dex to see if you can get out of reach. Um, so you can either run, yeah, yeah. So you can either run or stay and fight, or you can do like a combat maneuver. That's also a thing. Um, where you can because it's still like with its back towards the stairs. So what you could do is use your action to like shove it up off the stairs. That's like a combat. It's like a combat maneuver. That's a thing in Call of Cthulhu. Um, in that, so if you wish to push him off the stairs, I'm gonna say roll me a strength. So. Uh, so as you try to push it off the as you try to push it off the stairs, um, you fail to find any good purchase with your feet. Um, so it yeah, you don't manage to push him off. I'm just gonna show you a picture now of the thing that you're actually. Um, wait, let me. This one. Oh, can you see it? No. I don't know how I can show it to you without showing you the actual stats. If I do this, I hope. Damn it. I hope it doesn't show you the whole stats. If it does, please don't scroll down. Can you see the picture? No, you don't. um, what? Oh, yeah. So you you fail to to push him off the stairs. That's uh, not too bad. It's not too bad. It just means that now we are going to be in a combat scenario, which means I'm gonna have to do this, and then I'm gonna have to do. Oh damn it! I can't really. I need to copy him. Ah, damn it! I need to do this and then add turn. Okay, and then I have to copy. Nope. I'm gonna have to copy and paste. Yes. Yeah. No. And then I'm gonna have to do this. And now, what is Jupiter's dex? Okay. Um, what is Alexander's dex? 75. Okay, that's good. That's good. Yeah, probably. The creature's dex is nothing because it doesn't scroll. Okay. Ooh, that's bad news for you, bro. Uh-huh. Because his dex is actually 80. Yeah. So he's gonna move first, seeing that he's already like you basically ran into him. So you're standing in front of him now, and he's gonna latch at you, meaning that he's gonna try and bite you and then hold on to you. Um, yes, yes. Sorry. I don't know. Jupiter, Romeo. I mean, you yelled upstairs, right? Oh, I thought you said you yelled, but oh, yeah. If you didn't say or do anything, um, then no, she doesn't know that you're she doesn't know what's happening there. Well, no, not yet. It's only if it's your turn. So you'll have to wait. So he's gonna latch at you first. Um, and now I have to, and he's gonna do. Oh, actually, you can try to fight back now because now it's an actual turn. So what you have to do, well, actually he failed, so that's good for you. Um, so how combat works in Call of Cthulhu is if a creature attacks you, you can either dodge or fight back. Uh, Dodging requires you to make a dodge roll based on your dodge skill. Fighting back requires you to make an attack roll, and then based on huh? Then based on your attacks, what you rolled in your attack, um, the if you rolled a success and your attacker didn't, then you win and he misses. If it's a draw, then the attacking party always wins. So you have to basically roll a success higher than your opponent to make sure that he doesn't hit you. But in this case, he tried to bite you, but he failed. So you're lucky, and it's now your turn, Alexander. It's your turn. Sorry. You can, yes. And unlike in D&D, you can actually make like a point blank shot, which gives you a bonus die, because you're literally like putting the gun into his whatever, where you want to put it. What are you gonna do? Because that's actually quite important at this point. And he has like it seems like he has like a sorry. I didn't get anything of that. From what you know where you are now, there's only the one. But assuming seeing that you heard the kitchen door banging before as well, um, you could think that there might be two. There might be more. Hmm. Hmm. Um, Before you do anything, seeing that you now actually have a good sight of it, I want you to make a sanity roll. Oh, you succeed. You deduct one. No, you deduct one. So you go from 49 to 48. No, yeah, but I mean, a success only means that you're losing less. If you would have failed, you would have had to roll a 1d4. So basically, witnessing like mythos horrors always reduces your sanity. Um, the amount by which you reduce it is based on your success or not. And if you succeed, you usually only lose one, unless you witness like Cthulhu, then you lose 10, even if you succeed. Um, and if you fail, in this case, yeah, and in this case, you would have to roll a 1d4 if you fail, or in the case of Cthulhu, you have to roll a 1d100 to see how much you have to deduct. So basically, you always lose, or most cases, you always lose sanity. But the amount which you lose varies on your, and that's based on your success or a failure. So you go from 49 to 48. Um, by the way, the sun is coming up here, just so you know. um, and then yeah, and then you're gonna try to shoot it in the knee. You said. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, wait, because I now have to fight back. Let me check. Fight back. Oh wow! Oh wow! You did a critical. That's like, okay. You rolled a friggin' one. Um, I don't know why it's zero damage. Um, okay. So your Smith and Wesson does a 1d10 plus your damage bonus anyway, and you also impale, and impale does I think max damage, but I'll look it up just to be sure. Yeah, but um, okay, 103, 104. Um, but you still have to. Yeah, you can just roll a 1d10. That's okay. Man, that's depressing. Um, so impale does. Mm, wait, what? Where is it? Where is it? Mm, extreme damage and impales. Um, action with a non-impaling weapon. A weak spot and cause maximum damage plus maximum damage bonus if any. With a penetrating weapon such as a blade of wood, but then an impale has been inflicted, that means that the weapon or bullet apply the increased damage as for an extreme with a blunt. Um, and your yeah, so you do 10 plus 1, you do 11 damage. Um, yeah, it actually so you you uh, as you hit him as you're aiming for the knee, and but you're kind of nervous and you're kind of skittish, and you don't fire a gun like on a regular basis. So before you move the gun down to his knee, you actually like already release the bullet when you get to his gut. um, and the barrel is like against his gut, against his stomach, and as you fire the gun, um, the bullet like penetrates its belly, which at this point it seems to be like soft tissue somewhat, compared to the rest on the outside. The stomach area seems softer than the rest of his outside skin. um, and so the bullet flies through and penetrates the creature and flies out through the back, severing its spine and doing some splatter damage behind it, and the creature falls down dead on the floor. Um, Yay! um, you can actually tick off. I mean, normally you do this only in a campaign, but you can tick off the fighting or firearm HG on your sheet. There's like a tick box next to it. You can actually tick that one. Oh no, the ticking is actually the ticking is actually for skill improvements. And I actually failed to do that before because I see like Jupiter has a first aid roll. You have a spot hidden that can all be ticked. If I go through all of these, Jupiter also has an arts and craft that can be ticked. Um, but yeah, it's more important for it's more important for a campaign. But so the creature falls down dead in front of you. You just shot the thing. It made like a noise, and um, now that you've calmed down a bit, you actually do hear some movement from down below. It's not on the stairs yet. There's no metallic clanging of feet hitting the stairs, but you do hear some more movement down below. Okay, sure, no problem. You can do that. Um, then actually, I had to go back to Jupiter first because she was the first one to arrive up there. So upon reaching so Jupiter, this happens before you hear the actual gunshot from downstairs. Um, as you reach up there, there's this is yeah, called the lantern room of the lighthouse. Um, and there's like two panes of glass that surround the perimeter of this room that have been broken, shattered to pieces. Um, and as you enter the room, you're actually walking on these splintered pieces of glass. Um, because the window has been shot, like rain is slowly like pouring in from the outside, and it makes the floor kind of slippery, but not terribly. It's wet, you know. Also, if you look around, I want to roll. I want you to roll me a sanity check. Um, be, because what you see is actually that besides the okay, you lose one sanity. Um, so what you see is actually that besides the water is actually turned like a soft pinkish color, and then as you like walk around in the lantern room a little bit, you actually see three bo- uh, three bodies, four bodies lying on the floor. Um, Two of them are what appear to be men, and two of them are the fish creatures that I just showed on screen. Um, they're all lying in this room. One of the fish creatures is actually latched onto the man's neck, um, and it's hanging on. It's from what you can see where you're standing. Everyone's dead here. They're all dead. So even in death, they're still clinging. Um, Now you can try to search these bodies, and if you do, you do realize that actually the first man that you see is he looks pretty strange. It's a man. He's like in a heavy hooded raincoat, and he appears to have like a bit of a narrow head, narrower than a human would have, and like on the bottom of his jaw, he seems to have like some extra flaps of skin. Um, and he also his skin is like gray and kind of has a rough complexion, as if he would have some kind of skin condition. Um, and it's the eyes though. The eyes, yeah, but From whatever you've gathered up until now, these deaths are fresh. These are like really recent. They are like within the last half an hour, maybe even. Um, yeah. So the from what you saw, the blood downstairs, you heard the few bangs before when you were outside. Um, so these are like really recent. Um, but whatever you see in this thing, this man lying around on the floor, it's actually the eyes that are most worrying. Um, they're like bulging, watery eyes, and they're staring at the corpse of the other man. Um, can you roll me a first aid or medicine roll? Okay. Um, so you see, yeah, even though she has a friggin' 50 for medicine, that's actually quite high. Um, or first aid. Um, yeah, I mean, you can see he's dead. Um, there's a lot of blood on the floor. So the actual cause of that, you you can't really ascertain at this moment. Um, you do see that his head is slightly tilted off to the side, and he's looking at yeah, at the other man's corpse, and uh, you can only assume that whoever this is, um, it would be Cassidy, because you know that Smith left the island, and you know that Turner's outside in the thicket being dead. Um, um, what you can see is that there's like another dead fish like creature. The one I just showed you is in between this one and the other creature's body. Huh? Okay. Uh, I, I also didn't really get that. Um, but yeah, so there's another of these other fish creatures lying in between the two men, doing the quote thing.